Hi everybody, welcome to Live Oak, Florida, and a beautiful late afternoon Saturday in the springtime. The drill that I'm going to talk about is a drill from the standpoint of not something you do every time you go to the range, certainly. Maybe not do very often at all, but everybody needs to do at least once. The LFI classes, we call it the spaz out drill. You might also call it shake, rattle, and roll. If you're shaking like a leaf, your bones are rattling, if you keep a good crush grip on the gun, keep the sights aligned, and smoothly roll the trigger, you're going to find that you have a better chance of hitting your target than what you realize under those conditions. What we're trying to simulate is the kind of thing that people seem to have in the back of their mind that they're going to be afraid of, and that's what happens under body alarm reaction. What happens when I'm being attacked and basically I'm scared. Obviously the adrenaline is going to be flowing, a lot of different things are going to happen, and we've talked about a lot of those in our podcasts already. But one thing that everybody knows is going to happen is you're going to be shaken. So what happens if you shoot while you're shaking? Everybody needs to do this so they can see what the results are. So I'm going to do one here to show you how it's done. You guys can take it from there on your home ranges. Might want to make sure you got friends around when you're doing this, because if you're on a range with a bunch of strangers, they might get nervous. What I'm going to do, take my basic strong firing stance that I would use if somebody, in this case that target that we got from the Right to Keep and Bear Arms folks, and we're going to shoot at that just as if it was attacking me. The distance here is about 4 yards. Typical self-defense kind of thing where something suddenly is upon you, you got to shoot quick, and yet you're shaking like a leaf because you know this is the big one. I'm going to simulate that as best I can without actually being afraid of that piece of paper, and I'll shake at essentially what we know is a typical amount of shakiness that you're going to have in your hands, your upper torso, and from your legs and your knees being a little on the wobbly side. It's not nearly exaggerated as some people think it is. And that's one of the things that you need to do here to build your confidence, to realize you're not going to be all over this berm. You're going to be all over the middle of the target. Let's see what happens. As I get into this, Gail will focus in on the gun. So you can see the amount of shake that we're getting, and we're going to watch just what the gun's doing. When we're finished with that, we'll see what kind of holes we have in the target. First up, Smith & Wesson M&P 357 SIG, one of my favorites. Let's give this a try. I'm going to take a good strong stance like we've always advocated. Remember that 5-point checklist. Power stance, high hand, crush grip, front sight, smooth roll on the trigger. All that applies even though you're shaking like a leaf. Watch this. Here we go. Magazine. No, stay back. Stay safe. Stay back. Stay back. Stay back. Leave me alone. Go. Target. What is that, about a 7-inch circle? Center of mass or upper chest cavity that you want to be aiming for in a self-defense situation. Well, you all saw how much I was shaking. How badly did that get me off of where I needed to be? Now, another point besides the shaking part. You've heard us talk about the importance of trigger control. We've heard us talk about the importance of trusting your wobble zone. Our brother Herman, I understand, has done, we didn't do these all at the same time. I understand Herman did one on a focus drill and showed you what that's all about. Part of that is trusting your wobble zone. Line up the sights, smooth roll on the trigger. If I can shake that bad and still hit what I need to hit on a human-sized target, do we really need to worry about that little bit of a jiggle that you get from holding a gun on target and trying to get a good accurate hit? I don't think so. But as much as we tell people trust your wobble zone, they still don't believe us and they worry about the shakiness. I'm telling you right now, forget the shakiness. concentrate on the fundamentals of that crush grip, align the sights, smooth trigger control, you will get the hits you need. Try this for yourself. Have fun.
Well done, brother.